I self-destruct every night before I go to bed. That's how we're going to start this whole video. I'm just going to leave it at that. At that
Good,
quote. Just go from there.
good.
We might self-destruct when this is over.
We might. Who knows?
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to. Oh man, I don't even know if this is gonna be considered a talk piece episode. This could be like a entirely different video by itself. But we need to
I mean,
we need to talk about.
does
Oh
does
yeah.
Talk Piece have to be about One Piece?
Well, not well. I mean, Talk Piece is what's nice about Talk Piece is that it can be about One Piece, of course, but it can literally be about anything. But
Yeah.
I don't
So,
even know if it's going to be like in the same Talk Piece league because man, this is just going to be a video in and of itself. Exactly.
enjoy that audio of this.
So, story time. Many eons ago, when the gods were still young, when JoJo Part 6 was not announced yet. That's how long ago this was. Walkus and I, we came together for a Talk Piece episode, and we were going to talk about, like, hey, let's talk about One Piece and criticism and why it's okay, because there's a right way to do it, and there's certainly a wrong way to do it. There's a way to praise the series, right? And then there's the cringy, horrific way to praise something. And we had like a very good talk. Like we lasted for 2 hours, and well, after that, the footage got corrupt. And no matter what I did, no matter how many times I re-downloaded it, or re-downloaded the footage from StreamYard, no matter what I tried to do, nothing exactly worked. And so I remained defeated. But Walkers and I were gonna do a retake with maybe cooler heads, because I remember we got pretty heated at one moment, but cooler heads shall prevail, and well, here we are now. And honestly, I told you this in DMs, but after 1011, I don't think there's a better time to talk about why One Piece and criticism aren't such a bad thing.
Yeah, and I mean, with conversations me and you have had about One Piece in general, like I feel like we are two of the best people right now that kind of talk about how to criticize and how to talk to one another when you disagree on certain things.
Oh yeah. Should we start with that about how we converse and how different we are about like our different viewpoints?
Yeah, sure. You
Yeah.
go ahead and start.
So Watkins and I, he is my partner on YouTube. I am very proud to say that you are my best friend on this website. I would not
Yeah.
choose like you. I can't think of anyone like more suited to be like my partner to go tackle on certain themes with One Piece. You're pretty knowledgeable. You're a great guy. However, with everything that I just said, that doesn't mean that Watkins and I agree on a lot of things. We don't agree on everything.
No.
And sometimes our conversations can get heated, but it's only because we're coming from a place of passion. And the two most prime examples of that were when Luffy got Conqueror's Hockey Combat in 1010, and then, of course, with the whole Big Mom shit hitted the fan moment in 1011. And even though that I know you're not the biggest fan of that, what happened in 1011, but you presented stuff that would help make the moment more tolerable, so
Yeah.
so to say. I think that's how you put it. But with that moment when you tried to introduce that knowledge to me, and when you tried to defend the whole Luffy's now on equal ground with Kaido, you and we argued for like what, an hour on each case. Just like
About. I mean,
no.
I was more confident with my Luffy one because with the Big Mom thing, like I'm still not a big fan of it. And kind of like what Trevor was saying, the way I was trying to go about it was, yeah, I'm still not a fan of it, but I can see where people would be like, "Oh, this is awesome! This is great!" You know, because I had if you watched my review for it, I did not like it at all, and I went a little off on it. Well, not off, but
Good.
I was not the kindest person. But that's what happens when you know kind of do reaction like a reactionary review and all that, and that happens to everybody, you know, because that's the beauty of making content.
Yeah,
Um,
and yeah,
and
just when we
usually after a few days, I can calm down from something like the Sanji thing from what 1007.
I thought it was 5, but
It might have
is
been
this
five.
about
I
the
don't
whole
know.
him
Yeah.
being? Is this him being captured, calling out for Robin?
Yeah. Like I didn't. There's another example of something. Excuse me, that me and Trevor didn't agree with because I did not like it, but Trevor did. Surprisingly enough.
I know it's still a
Um.
shock to some people.
Yeah. But you know, I didn't like it, and you know, after a few days, I kind of just simmered down. I was like, okay, all right, it's not terrible. I'm not a fan of it, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah, we had a round. You know, it's just like
yes,
I say this, and then you went no, and then I said no to your no, and then you said no to my first no, and we kind of kept going back and forth. But the point I want to emphasize is that even though we don't see eye to eye, we could still have like a nice little debate because we both know that hey, this series isn't perfect. In somehow, some way, that is information that is beyond the scope for some people in this world we all share,
yeah,
especially on Twitter and YouTube. But oh man, is that going to be our segue to talk about how One Piece is absolutely perfect and why we absolutely hate that notion?
yes. I mean, my notion for it is very simple. Nothing in life is perfect, you know, and also like it. The thing with a series being perfect, and you can look at this too with like reviews and people who discuss it and all that, and what a lot of people just need to kind of remember, a lot of it, and I'm going to use your favorite word for it,
Uh-oh.
a lot of it is subjective.
Oh shit.
Like but everybody wants to use their subjective opinion as objective fact, and that's kind of like the trouble you get into when you're doing like a review or if you're talking about a series, because I'm gonna use art as an example for this. So art, I don't know if you agree with this statement or not, Trevor. Art is very subjective.
Oh yeah, definitely.
you
Absolutely.
you cannot be objective about art.
Yeah. Like I know I've used this example before, but I
Mhm.
remember when someone literally put a banana and stuck it to a wall with duct tape. And I saw and they sold it as art and
Mhm.
it was at a high price too if I remember right because hey, I see it and it's like, wow, that's fucking stupid. And
Yep.
but other people saw it's like this is a true example of an autistic vision. And it's like, oh, okay. You do you. I don't agree, but oh, okay. You like it. It has some value to you.
Exactly. And I think that's that's just a mindset that a lot of people have escaped from,
Yep.
is the fact that a lot of opinions are subjective and they just want it to be right because in their mind they have to be right.
Yeah, I felt this. So this is obviously like,
Mhm.
this is why it's like it's the correct because why would my feelings ever be wrong?
Yeah.
And I think we're all guilty of that. Like if especially if you're on YouTube, if you're trying to make like reviews, I think any one of us would have fallen into that trap of just like hey, this made me feel that way and I it's how I felt. It can't be wrong, can it?
Yeah.
And well, and I can fully admit that's kind of what happened with the Whole Cake Island reviews that I put out. I still stand by that work, but I'm more than ready to admit that there are a few areas where like the emotional weight of themes, it doesn't exactly hold up. There were some cases in Luffy versus Katakuri where I was like, this fight doesn't feel that important. Like I feel like Sanji was robbed in this, and I didn't exactly really make a case about that. I still somewhat stand by that choice, but it's like I could have done so much of a better job explaining my case. So it's all right if you fall into the trap, but like I think nowadays people are starting to get they're I don't want to say they're gearing up for it, but it's like people are starting to, as we get better at content creation, more and more people are like, oh, okay, this is how I felt. Let's go over as to now why objectively this works or does not work.
Yeah. And that's what you can kind of get with like, so that's why I use my example for art, because manga and like comics and all that, it's this weird amoeba of, because there's art obviously in these things, but there's also writing. And with writing, I mean, it's also in this weird in between of being subjective and objective, because objectively it's more the way I look at objective things is, and this is just me, is if it's going by a textbook definition of something, like following the rules exactly. Oh, I'm supposed to have the rising action at this moment. This is the moment of the rising action. And this is the moment of the climax right here, right now, just as the book told me to.
Yeah. That is pretty much what objective writing is all about. It's a different textbook scenario, quite literally. But what makes the writing stand out, like if you want your writing to be truly something good, you can make the argument that it has to stand out. But so long as in your universe, so long as your characters are making like, smart choices, or so long as the rules of your world are being followed and you're able to be consistent with the world that you're putting these characters into, so long as you keep it up, you got something going on. And a good example of, it's like, what do you mean by the characters like making good choices? Well, have you guys ever seen a horror film before? Ever noticed how, in some cases, in order to have the big monster show for a big kill, sometimes a character is dumbed down? Their intelligence just takes a plummet, or this isn't how a human being would act at all. Yeah, horror movies are a great example of that.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and that's why, it's like that is how objective writing can be, in its simplest form. It's how you can tell something's like, if it's strong, if it's consistent, if it follows the rules. And I'm gonna bring out the two of the big guns, and I think you know where I'm going with this, about how objectivity and subjectively these two movies are wildly different.
Oh yeah, I knew they were gonna come up in this video.
Yeah. So to make a case, it's like I need to share a story. Last year, we got hit with the fucking coronavirus. And it fucking sucked. I think we can all admit that. It fucking sucked. And during the coronavirus, I needed something very positive to pep me up a little. Because, I think it was in June when I watched it again. And so I put in One Piece Stampede. I was watching it, and I was like, yeah, Boogie, yeah, you Rouge, woo, Law, yeah, everyone's fighting, woo, boy, the hype man is here, yeah. And then, upon the viewing, I noticed a little chink in the armor, so to say, a nice little chink. And I'm like, oh, wait a sec, that doesn't exactly make sense. Like with what we know about One Piece, and man, even with the rules that were established in the movie, this doesn't really make much sense. That's very weird. But I was still having fun. Subjectively, and to this day, I can still say, if you're a One Piece fan, you're probably going to get a blast out of Stampede. It's just wacky fun. That's all it is. It's wacky fun. However, And Watkins knows this too well because I vented to him multiple times about how when I went through the movie again and I went scene by scene, analyzing if the characters worked, if the laws were being followed, if it was being an actual One Piece storyline, if everything was going smoothly. Objectively, One Piece Stampede is a fucking disaster. It is, holy shit. Like, I look at that movie and it's like, wow, that is not the Luffy that I have known for almost 2 decades. Wow, that is not the Nami that I've known for almost 2 decades. What the fuck is happening here? That's just putting it lightly. I have literally 75 pages of notes that I have for One Piece Stampede. And I swear, it's one of those movies where every 30 seconds or so, I would pause and be like, wait a second. Does that fit? Wait, no, that doesn't fit. Oh, okay, so we have a new character now. Oh, okay, so her name is Anne. Okay, what's Anne's deal? Okay, she has a power. Oh, okay, she can make illusions. Okay, how is that going to work in the story? It doesn't. She doesn't work in the story at all. I'm like, oh, wait, why did you give her entire backstory? Yeah, we're gonna throw her in the end of the movie, and she's gonna magically produce Ace, and he's gonna make this magic illusion of Ace. He's gonna produce a firewall. I'm like, oh, okay, so you're literally using her for fan service. Oh, okay. Thanks for creating a character for just fan service. Oh, okay. To each their own. All right, so what is this Ace illusion gonna do? Well, we're gonna have him and Sabo use a joint Fire Fist attack. Oh, okay, yeah. That is it like a send off for Luffy? Yeah, it's going to be a send off for Luffy. And like, oh, well, that's very heartwarming. Okay, I'm on board with that. So, is the fire real? Oh no, Anne's powers are only like illusion based, and the illusions only last for a very short time before they all dissipate. Oh, okay. So, how are we going to make this work? All right, so Sabo fires a Fire Fist. Okay, yeah. All right, now Ace, the illusion of Ace, he fires a Fire Fist too. All right, so that's the illusion fire. Okay. And, well, the 2 rows of fire that are made, they're just real rows of fire. Somehow, the Ace row of fire is real, and it's going to stay there so that Kizaru can be cock blocked from getting his kill on everyone. It's just real fire. I'm like, oh wait, how does that work? Nah, don't question it. The credits are rolling now. I'm like, what? That movie is as much fun as it is objectively a mess. Again, I can't go 30 seconds without finding a new issue. And my God, I will forever stand and die on the hill that Bullet is one of the worst One Piece characters that has ever been conceived. Nothing about him works. Nothing about him makes sense. He is such a childish, naive creature of writing. It is, oh man. And that's why I gotta be careful. Because subjectively, I have to make clear, subjectively, the movie's a lot of fun. Objectively, though, if you try to compare it to the series to see if everything works, it's like, this doesn't exactly work as a One Piece film. Is there an anime film that is subjectively fun and you would say that is objectively good too? Yeah, easily.
Demon Slayer. Easily the Demon Slayer movie.
Well, I mean, in recent memory, I know that's doing pretty good, but I have not seen Demon Slayer, so I'll just take your word for it.
As you should. There is a 40-minute review.
Yes, I should. I will put that in the end screen for you, because you and your lovely fiance get to talk about it in quite detail, if I remember.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. I mean, I guess another recent anime movie. You could tell me if I'm wrong or not. I mean, Super Broly.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, I was honestly shocked because I remember that I really liked the Super Broly movie, and I was always thinking like, whenever I make the unyielding meh video for One Piece Stampede, I could just look at Broly, see if it gets the same treatment. Well, no, it turns out that Dragon Ball Super Broly takes so much more care of its foundational structure in terms of the plot, in terms of the world, and in terms of the characters. it's so much more solid than I think some people give it credit for. Your boy Roshi, just to name one.
You
But
know, now that I kind of think about it, is there? I mean, I'm sure there are, but like in my mind, the majority of the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z movies are objectively pretty good.
I'll get to that in a second. But
Yeah, like I said, some of them.
yeah, with Super Broly in particular, I
Yeah.
was quite taken aback. And this morning, I was actually working on the script for that. I
Mhm.
reached the scene, and I think I talked about it with you just a couple days ago. But this morning was when I put in the script. There's a scene in the movie where Paragus barges into King Vegeta's throne room, and he's like, "Where is my son? What have you done to him?" And he's like, "Well, your son has latent ability, and he's far too dangerous. If he gets too strong, he's going to be a danger to everyone. So I just launched him to a desert planet. It's very desolate. You know, he'll be fine there. He can take over for the Frieza Force." And Paragus is like, "You fucking bitch! You're just jealous that my son's better than yours, fucking piece of shit." So Paragus darts out the window, and he's committing high treason. And quite easily, by the way, he's able to procure a ship and just take off. He has no problems getting off the planet, even though he is now essentially a wanted criminal. And I thought, like, well, why? Well, you would think that King Vegeta and his royal guard, they would easily be able to catch up to Paragus and just execute him for, daring to defy the king. But upon thinking back, it's like, oh, it makes sense. Why wouldn't King Vegeta allow this traitor to go to some desolate planet where the traitor might die a horrible death? Or, even if the guy comes back, it's a death warrant, no matter what. And this planet, like, even if he rescued his son and goes to some other planet, that planet may be under the control of the Frieza Force, or it might be a future target for the same race. So practically no planet, no developed planet is safe. And that's just in King Vegeta's mindset. It's like, whatever, I don't want to waste energy on him. He's literally, he'll be a fate worse than death for the guy. He left, he's done. Fuck you, bitch. And it's like, that was just like in the first 10 minutes. That is a very stark difference of when I think back on One Piece Stampede, it is a mess. Every scene, practically, almost, I don't want to say every scene, that's hyperbolic. Almost every scene in that movie, when you think back on it, it's like, wait, that doesn't exactly work. But in Super Broly, it's just like, wow, it's actually a much more solid film than I remember. And to comment on what you said earlier, most of the Dragon Ball films are not that good, but there are, like, you got it right. There are a few that are just, wow, they're just really solid. Battle of Gods is one of them.
Yep.
I want to say, and this could just be subjective me talking, but I only have nothing but great memories of Fusion Reborn.
Yeah, Fusion Reborn. That was one I was thinking of too.
World's Strongest.
Yes,
that was really good.
Yeah, World's Strongest, Dead Zone.
Yes, Dead Zone. Yeah, for the first Dragon Ball Z film, that was really good.
Yeah, like those are, I would say, like the objectively good ones because they fit within they even fit within the story of the series. Like, I always remember Dead Zone because it was that thing that could have happened. If you want to make the Garlic Jr. saga canon, it happened before Raditz showed onto the planet, and it teases Goku and Piccolo teaming up against him, and even was it? No, that was World's Strongest. I'm thinking of where Goku and Piccolo fought again.
Yeah, for a short time in World's Strongest, but yeah.
But then you get, movies like the second Broly movie.
No, just the Broly trilogy. The original
Yeah.
Broly trilogy in general was
I was I
awful.
was I was trying to be nice to the first Broly movie, but
The first movie, it's only like it has oh man, it is like the sheer opposite of the Super Broly movie, where it's like its best moments are in the action, but even the action scenes themselves are just like they're fun, but they have no substance. With the
yeah.
Super Broly movie, not only is the second half of the movie action once again, but it's like it's action with substance, with actual meaning behind everything, and it's oh man,
Yeah.
I cannot wait to get the Unyielding praise done on that one.
And you get like different parts of like the Broly fight because there's Broly versus Vegeta, then there's Broly like unleashing his power, and then there's Broly versus Goku, and then there's Broly versus Goku and Vegeta.
But in
And
the
then there's
original, Broly fought everyone, and it's so cool. And then Goku one-shot him somehow, huh?
because he got everyone's power and energy in here.
Yeah. You may be asking, okay, what's the point and what in comparison? All you're saying is that Dragon Ball Super Broly is just built better than Stampede, and the point is, and I make it clear in the Unyielding Meh review I have for Stampede, coming out in the year 3300. But anyway, the point is that even if something is objectively bad, and I already alluded to it, subjectively, it's okay to like something that's not good. It's okay. The universe doesn't fall apart, and you don't really compromise your entire humanity by going like, oh no, I like something bad. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can like things that are just not strong. I can't begin to tell you how many like terrible movies that that I have a very soft spot for. For
Yeah.
instance, just to name a few, if that's all right.
No.
Oh, okay. The stream ends here. But Star Wars Episode 2, it's pretty bad, but I still have a soft spot for it. The oh my god, I can't believe I get to say this, but in air quotes, rubber. That it's literally a horror movie. Yeah, it's literally a horror movie that stars a tire and it's psychic and it kills people.
It's so stupid, but it's so funny.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. Oh shit. Oh no, that's right. And the most recent contender for like just one of my favorite experiences ever. And I'm going to cheat. There's two of those. One was Velocipaster. That movie is broken. It is a shattered mess. Like, I don't even need to rewatch it to be like, wow, that movie is awful. Nothing works in it at all. But my God, is it a fucking drug trip? It is something else. And honestly, you could say the same thing for the new Mortal Kombat movie. Have you seen that yet?
Not yet. I plan to get around to it sometime this week.
I don't know how you'll react to it, but man, me and Justin, Marshall, and Danielle, when we watched it last night, we just had nothing but fun with it. And I had a very short talk with Sensei LeGlove about it. And with one tweet, he convinced me like, oh yeah, the story was pretty shit. And the main character was shit too. And yeah, I would change quite a few things. But you know what? For a video game movie, there were actually like a lot of references that fit into the movie. And it was just fun. We had fun with it. So again,
I mean, that's how I felt with Godzilla versus Kong. I had a lot of fun with that movie.
I don't like it, but like anything... well, I don't like the movie that much, but again, it's the same shit with Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and it's the same shit with Godzilla 2014. The human shit is absolute dog shit. It is terrible. All the human scenes are god-awful, but man, have it when the monsters are just on screen. Oh, I'm in heaven.
Yep.
King Ghidorah is one of my favorite characters, and one of the main reasons is literally from King of the Monsters, and just the sheer presence he has throughout the film is, God, it's something else.
Yes.
Oh, but
Love
yeah.
it.
the main message, and it's going to lead into our next topic here. It's okay to like something that has faults.
Yep.
Apparently, though, if you were to ever journey onto the realm of Twitter and certain YouTube reviews, my God, you would try to, everyone is gonna, well, not everyone, just again, hyperbole, but a lot of people are gonna try to convince you that One Piece is absolutely perfect and with no flaws whatsoever. And if you ever try to, go against that logic, you will be swarmed and you will be forever known as one of the one of the members of the toxic brood.
Yeah.
Hate mongers of the toxic brood.
And like, it's tough because I understand you might really love a series and it might have done a lot of stuff for you. I'm the same way with some things. Naruto is one of my favorite series of all time, subjectively. Like, It has its issues, mainly near the end, but it is still my favorite series because of what it did for me in my life, what it taught me in a time in my life that I needed it, and it was there for me like throughout until its very end. And there's no sequel series to continue on that legacy and ruin
it. Yeah, and like even my favorite story or favorite stories, they have issues.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. In fact, do you mind if I just quickly just go over my top 10, just like shonen manga anime stories real quick?
Oh,
just so I can try to point this fact out. It's going to be very quick.
Yeah.
So One Piece. I know I'm the guy. I'm one of the One Piece tubers. One Piece is one of my favorites. It's in my top 10. It's only number 9 though. Like One Piece is like my number 9 favorite series, and that's with all its faults, and that is with it being an incomplete story. Because the other stories on my list, well, actually no, only one of them is still ongoing, but man, I think it is so much more consistently better in terms of quality. But number 10, Bleach. The ending was number 9, One Piece. And then again, just to make my point a little more clear, One Piece is like a heartbeat monitor where part 1 was just a constant climb, and then the post-time skip happened and a lot of the rules changed, specifically the combat and how the characters kind of just not just the characters. You could tell that maybe some things were just on a bit of a cycle in some areas. So with every arc in the post-time skip, the heartbeat monitor just skipped. Like it just goes, it spikes and then it rises, it spikes, it rises again, all over the place. And that's the post-time skip in a nutshell. And well, the other 8 stories I just believe are more consistent. So right after that, we got Black Cat in the manga. Black Cat's just a really good story. I honestly recommend everyone check it out. You can find it online. It's pretty easy to find if anyone just needs a new, refreshing story, by the way. I'm not advertising anything. Anyway, and in the anime format, I know how broken it is, but this is one of those just pure subjectivisms. That's why I don't really include it on the top 10. But man, if I had to give it to an anime, Hellsing Ultimate.
Yes.
Number 7, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. That I think that's just one of I think that's like one of the go-to examples. Just like a great story from start to finish. With man, it's still not perfect, but it's like the level of consistency is it's pretty good. After that, My Hero Academia. The amount of people that continue to underestimate that story, it still gets to me. Number 5 is where things are just like in the holy tier. Rurouni Kenshin is number 5. Again, like Fullmetal Alchemist, it's just one of those purely consistent quality stories. I'm gonna stop bringing up the point, but again, you can find issues, but unlike One Piece, the story is much more consistent, or the issues that plague it aren't really that big of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 would be Death Note. It's a classic for a reason.
Yeah, it's Death Note.
And that's pretty much the same reasons for 3, 2, and number 1. So 3, the original Dragon Ball. Not Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball GT, not Dragon Ball Super. The original Dragon Ball. I think much like My Hero, that series is, kind of overlooked quite frequently. I can English, but that's pretty good too. JoJo is number 2. And you want to know what's bizarre, Walkins?
What? That Yo-Yo Ma sucks?
Okay, you can believe that. It's all right. But
I was not a fan. It just came out of nowhere. I'm just like, what? Wait, I thought I thought I skipped a chapter. And I went back. I was just like, did I skip a chapter? What? How did everything just jump? What?
I can't wait for Stone Ocean so that people can actually realize what we're talking about. But
yeah,
the bizarre thing is that, honestly, if Steel Ball Run Part 7 was on its own, it might just be my contender for number 1. Oh my god. Every part in JoJo is good, by the way, you Phantom Blood hating heathens. Again, I don't know where the hate for Phantom Blood comes from. I
don't understand it either. Like, it's not that bad. Miranda,
yeah.
You liked part 1 of JoJo, right?
Oh yeah.
With Jonathan Joestar?
He's so hot, yeah.
Yes. Thank
you.
Thank you, bestie. Thank you. And then number 1, to absolutely no one's surprise, Yu Yu Hakusho. It's but yeah. So that is where, that's why I want to mention that even if something has its faults, and even if the faults in One Piece are a bit more consistent, I still love the shit out of that story, despite its faults, and despite it not having an ending that may or may not doom the series. It's still my 9th favorite, like, shonen manga story that I've seen yet, or not yet. Just in the grand scheme of everything that I've read, that story still sticks out. It is still something of absolute quality. But of course, if I were to post this on Twitter, like I did, you would not. Well, actually, I don't think it would be silly for me to say, like, oh man, it wouldn't be hard to believe that some people absolutely hated the fact that One Piece was not in the top 5.
Yeah,
and it's just like, what? Are you kidding me? It's in the top 10. It's in a top 10 of everything that I've seen. And it's not even done yet. And it still has glaring flaws, but the positives still outweigh it quite a bit. Again, if it's in the top 10, it's pretty fucking good, guys. Yeah, I think you're taking the love a bit too far. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. So, because part of this, this is also something that's bad about social media, because like assholes, everyone has opinions that they want to spout out because they want to be heard, they want to be right, all this other stuff. And when they see that somebody has a differing opinion, they're going to just fight them. And this is what I was kind of leading into with this conversation. A series might be so dear to you and all that stuff, but that does not give you the right to come at somebody for having a different opinion.
And you don't have the right to keep comparing your series to a farm animal. Jesus Christ, I am tired of the goat abuse. It is not
the goat abuse. Look, until fraternity stops sacrificing them, we're gonna keep using goats.
No.
And it's like you see this a lot with like bigger YouTubers too. And I'll bring up your favorite One Piece YouTuber.
CBR?
No, Rogers Base.
Yeah, CBR.
Oh my gosh.
No, I
I know. But part of it he kind of brings on himself, especially with the MHA fandom. But there will be people in his comment section saying, "Oh, you never criticize One Piece. You always say it's great and awesome and fantastic." But they're new to his channel or forget that he had legitimate criticisms about like Whole Cake Island and Dressrosa. and he's out, and this actually happened too. I don't know if you remember this, but like a couple years ago, he didn't really do One Piece content for a while. He actually did like a lot of Hunter x Hunter stuff because that's when he was like reading and watching Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, good for him. Very nice.
Yeah. So like he took a break from One Piece, and a lot of people just kind of forget that and want to. And it's this whole mob mentality of, oh, you don't believe what the mass of us believe, so that means you're just a shit person. You're a hater. You're bad. You don't understand the story. You can't read. Blah blah blah. And it's like, well, because this also gets into another topic I want to talk about like interpretation. Like what people need to realize is that me and you have different interpretations of things. And like we talked about what?
Scientology for the win.
Yeah, see, you believe in Scientology, and I believe
No, I don't actually know.
in Cthulhu, you know. Or Cthulhu, or however the fuck you say his name. Some devout follower I am.
I believe it's called Kathy.
Oh, Kathy, gotcha. Okay. So I believe in Kathy, and you believe in Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom
See? So, shit, where was I going? Now I lost my train of thought.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's my own fault.
It's the fact
interpretation.
that you and I have different interpretations.
Yeah, so yeah, we have different interpretations of things. You see something one way, I see something another way, and we, as human beings and people over the age of 5, we can come together and be like, hey, I think this way. Oh, I think this way. Well, let's talk about it. Maybe we can come to some sort of understanding, even if we don't agree.
And yeah, it came full circle because we literally talked about this like a half hour ago with like
Yep.
Yeah, with the whole Conquerors hockey and the Big Mom theme. I know we both agreed on the Big Mom theme, but you at least presented at least a defense for it, or trying to help ease the blow. And another example that I think is great for this topic is when we, as a team, ranked almost every single One Piece character.
Oh yeah.
In terms of like who was our favorite? Roger and Odin. They stand at the fucking top. But you and I, we came to blows on quite a few occasions about where some characters would land. Like, oh man, pre-time skip Luffy, man, that's a fucking S tier. Post-time skip Luffy, I fucking despise him. He has his moments, but man, I really don't like what Oda did with the character in part 2. But you came in with some defenses, and we compromised, and we did that a lot with a lot of characters. So I think that's like a great example of what happens when we come together and we just have a little chat.
Honestly, the best example I can think of from that video that we did is Hyogoro.
Yes.
Because we both have different interpretations of his character and what it meant, especially for Wano. Because you wanted to have him in like a very lower tier. And I mean, if I had known that Yasuie wasn't on the list, he probably would have been higher. But like I had a different interpretation, being like, he is one of the most critical characters in Wano because he represents what the country became. And you were just like,
changed my mind.
You were just like, duh, old man.
You fucking old man piece of shit. Put him in D tier.
Fucking old man wants to be Yoda.
I did not say that, but
I know. An over exaggeration, but still. And like that's the thing. So, and that's what people need to realize is that if somebody has a different opinion, instead of calling them trash or the thing that they like trash, why don't you like talk to them and be like, okay, why? Why do you feel this way? So a good example that I see is a lot of people love Black Clover more than My Hero Academia. And I'm just like, I'm just like, okay, why? And most of it is because, I mean, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but the gist of what I get is Black Clover is a lot easier to get into because it is. Here's the thing: it's something that would have existed. It's basically a big three manga in this day and age. Like if it came out during like the Bleach Naruto time, it would probably be a lot more pop. It would probably give one of them a run for its money.
Interesting. All right.
But only because it would exist alongside them. After them, it's kind of hard because you have stories like My Hero Academia, which does a lot of diving in with characters and like doing things in a realistic sense. And then you have series like JJK, which ups the battle choreography and battle, with lack of a better term because of JoJo earlier, battle tendencies. And so I always ask people why, because where I do enjoy Black Clover, it's not in that top echelon of this series is awesome, it's so great, it's goated, blah blah blah. I enjoy it, but like I always question those people. I'm just like, well, why do you feel this way? And they'll give me an answer. They'll be like, oh well, Aston never gives up. He keeps working hard and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, okay. I mean, I've seen characters that never give up and are strong willed and all that, but I guess I can see that in your perspective because some of these people are also like kind of still new to the anime scene, like, and that's what I think some people like around our age range need to remember is that we grew up in like the Toonami age, the
Oh
Toonami
man.
after school age.
Yeah, kids these days, they just kind of have like random streaming services or just
Mm-hmm.
websites. Like back in our day, we had to use Toonami or DVDs to get our stuff. I mean, we could do
Or
something
be
like
lucky to
YouTube.
be lucky to find them on YouTube, and it ended up being part 1 of 5 of the Spanish subtitles of Naruto episode 50.
Yeah, and yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. It's just like I find it so much more interesting where if someone says like I'm not gonna I refuse to converse with anyone that just says that any series is the fucking goat or my MC is goated. It's
Oh
no,
yeah.
you're clearly past the point of no return there. I'm not even gonna try to have a discussion with you. But
I
with
mean,
people that just
some of that is just kind of Twitter talk. I mean, it's a if you know the person on the other side of Twitter and they say something like that, like if I came out and was just like, "Oh, Deku, he's my MC's goated," you would know, you would be able to interpret, okay, I know what he's doing here. But like, I do understand that. Hey, here we go, another thing, right here, understanding where the other person's coming from during a debate.
yeah, and that's why I was leaning into
Yeah.
because again with the go talk, it's give or take. But it's like if someone says like if there's like a talking point to be had, like, oh, my hero is better than Death Note, for example. And
Okay.
where my list stands, like, man, I think Death Note is a better story than my hero, especially if my hero's like incomplete, much like One Piece. But oh, man, I'm very interested in hearing your part, and
Yeah.
I'm so much more curious about things that I don't like and people do. I find it fascinating. I don't have any other words for it. It's just like it's just this new experience where it's just like, huh? So why do you like this? I just find like this personal connection to this character or to this event. I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, all right.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was interesting. I like that. Here's my thing. And the other person would be like, oh, yeah, that's cool. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about this part? It's like, hey, it's all right. It's like, yeah, I thought it was great. It's just a normal conversation.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
completely fine.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is something that they call in the science community the perfect outcome. However, we do not live in this perfect world. So not many people can have these conversations. And
Good
so
luck.
this is where we transition to the wrong part of all of this. So there's one thing to be said about having a conversation with somebody about something. You know, I think something this way. Oh, I think this way. And you actually have an and I'm trying not to talk down to people when I say this, but you're having an intelligent conversation saying, okay, this is this way, this is how I see this way. That's fine, because if you're using parts of the story that are interpreted in the right sense from both parties and is like the general consensus of how that part happened, fine, you're having a very intelligent conversation. If you interpret a part or a scene or a character or anything in the wrong way and someone tries to correct you and you instead are just sitting there like, no, you're wrong, you might be the one in the wrong, because you obviously didn't. And I know I just said something about this about, oh, you're not reading, but you're not reading and you're not looking, you're not seeing all the information on there.
Yeah, there is
And
such a thing as like misinforming, or you're
yes,
misrepresenting your own case.
case in point, before we got onto this recording, I'm not going to name any names because I'm respectable like that. But I showed Trevor a fun little Twitter thread to kind of warm us up for this.
Warming
up. And it was a thread about Odin as a character. And okay, fine, I understand. Odin's not everybody's favorite character. Not a lot of people like him. I understand some of the flaws he has. I get it. I understand. Fine. But it's one thing to not like him for his flaws. It's another thing to misinterpret the character and the characters around him to the point where you think he's a misogynist serial killer. I'm sorry. Are we reading One Piece or are we reading Three Pieces? Because what? and you saw the thread too.
It was one of those experiences where, quite honestly, I felt like I was reading a CBR article all over again, or I was watching Super Eye Patch Wolf with another Bleach video. one of those cases, and to help with the course of how you can get things wrong. And this kind of leads to like the critique area of this as well.
Yeah.
If you're going to review something, if you're going to critique something, bring your A game. That's all I can ask. And again, all you can do at the end of the day is try. There are two examples of this. One was what I just mentioned, Super Eye Patch Wolf. He made a Bleach video a long time ago, and I swear, Watkins and I will one day tackle that, and we will go over everything wrong in that video in a calmly manner. But man, that first time we watched that video, I have to say, it was one of the worst videos I've ever seen in my entire life. It was horrifically full of misinformation. So many things were just objectively wrong in terms of like, oh, this arc is this. This fight is bad because I felt this. I'm like, okay, so that's how you feel. What about the actual qualities or the things that made something bad? It made me feel this way. It's like, it's not the point, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, I will say, I liked the part where he goes into like the financial studies of the Bleach series, like, and how successful it was. I loved his character study on Ichigo. It was one of the best ones I've ever seen. That perfectly sums up as to why Ichigo is a fascinating main character. Mm-hmm. The Soul Society, of course, is just one of those arcs where everyone's just like, yeah, it's pretty good, and he does the same thing. Everything after that.
Yeah.
It's just, or to imagine the scenario, it's like at the end of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, when the evil queen is trying to push over the boulder, and in this case, Super Eye Patch Wolf does push over the boulder, and he flattens all the dwarves, and the dwarves represent the Bleach series. It's like it's this tragedy that should have never happened at
Yes.
all. And that's why I say if you're going to review something, bring your A game, and that is what I'm trying to do with the whole One Piece Stampede review. Because man, if you're going to review One Piece, if you're going to talk about something that you do not like, and a lot of people do, you need to be really careful as to how you make your words. You need to be careful that you're not mixing subjective opinions and just the facts on the table. And I put it all throughout my review. It's like, and I put it, well, I'm not going to go over every example, but I do make sure that at the end of it all, I do like, that's why I brought up this as a joke. That is why I made this as, as a subjective take, because I didn't want to confuse anyone. Because I know that if I do fuck up, I deserve to be called out on that. And I do put that in the script too. If I fuck up, let me know. I'm always looking out for a discussion. That's the whole point of it, to have a little discussion.
And that's the other part. Like, I swear, it's okay to be wrong. I promise you, it's okay if you're wrong about something. It's okay to go back and say, hey, okay, I was wrong about this. I've said it on multiple occasions about things, going back and say, okay, I was wrong about this. And that's fine. It is, I promise you, you are going to live the next day if you were wrong about something.
And that's why we get passionate.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you like with Eye Patch Wolf's video, we got passionate because we love Bleach, and to see all that information just repeatedly wrong, it made us go like, what is this video? And mind you all, Watkins and I, we lived in an age where 2 Girls, 1 Cup was acceptable on YouTube, and we could watch that anytime we wanted to. And I remember you forced that on me, you piece of shit. You fucking did some. I remember vividly.
Did I?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I remember. I did. I remember that. You literally texted me, hey, you want to see something cool? I'm like, well, I got nothing else to do. I need to get away from my horrifically disgusting cheating on his girlfriend roommate. So I went over to your room. There was another friend in there. I forget her name. But we all sat down, and you put the camera in front of me, and it's like, watch this. And you recorded my reaction to watching 2 Girls, 1 Cup. And I was like, oh, dear fucking God, what is this wretched abomination? God, and you and your friend were just having the time of your lives. And again, this is after that, I forgive you for that, by the way. It is funny looking back on it.
But, I completely forgot about that until now.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier that Eye Patch Wolf's video on Bleach was one of the worst I've ever seen. I have seen executions of people on YouTube back in the day. I have seen 2 Girls, 1 Cup on YouTube. But man, misrepresenting a series that we hold dear, for various reasons, of course, can incite that same level of, reactive angering. And another thing, and I wanted to I finally have a reason to say this. And much like One Piece, it is a beloved series for obvious reasons. There's no doubt. I think we can all agree here. Anyone that's watching this, One Piece is a beloved series by a lot of people. If you're going to review it, bring your A game. Because otherwise, you might also have a case where if you just blindly hate it and you don't really do your research and don't do your due diligence, you wind up with maybe a review like Cinematic Venom going over the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Have I mentioned that very special review with you, Watkins?
Yes, you have.
Yeah, to go over that, everyone, to be very brief, This reviewer, he honestly believed that Sam was gay for Frodo, and his entire review was full of gay jokes, like 2003 gay jokes. And I don't think I ever told you this one, Watkins, but in that review, Do you remember the scene where it is after the battle in the giant white city? After the battle, you have Aragorn, Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas, Gandalf, and the King of Rohan, and they're all just in the throne room, and it's like, all right, Sauron is licking his wounds. We beat him this day, but we haven't won the war yet. And then Gimli says, let him rot there in his fiery keep. Let him stay there. Do you remember that?
Yes.
He, on Cinematic Venom, took that statement, and he said that he watched the movie 3 times, but I believe that, until I prove it wrong, he still believes that when Gimli said that line, he was mentioning that he wanted Frodo to die. Leave Frodo in Mount Doom, let him die. He honestly believed that.
What?
He just blindly hated the Lord of the Rings movies, and all of his information was terrible. It is a terrible review. And if you want can you name an example of a terrible One Piece review? Well, when Watkins and I did this, what's up?
I said there's a few of them.
Yeah, when Watkins and I did this the first time around, we watched a One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 review, and I don't remember much from that video, but I do remember that, like, at the end of his video, his main stinger was that Enel wasn't in the game, therefore it's shit.
Yep.
It's like, heaven forbid the combat that was like fucking revamped and perfected in 4, and yeah. I'm not going to say that Pirate Warriors 4 is a perfect game, but it's like there are many reasons why you can love it.
I've been replaying Pirate Warriors 3 on my Switch. I wish Pirate Warriors 4 was Pirate Warriors 3 in some aspects.
Yeah, Pirate Warriors 3, it's if I had to sum up the Pirate Warriors 4, like all 4 games, I guess this could count as a review. Pirate Warriors 1 does not age well at all. It's your very basic. It's such a by the numbers video game adaptation of a shonen series. Very by the numbers. They played it really safe. There's nothing to really impress with that one. Pirate Warriors 2, its main thing was that the combat, while staying the same, it had like this original story. And while it's not like the most revolutionary thing ever, it's such an interesting story. It's like this alternate reality One Piece story, and it was just a lot of fun just having the story go in a different direction. Having you even get Kizaru versus Enel in that. It's so fucking cool.
Oh, that's fun.
Have you played Pirate Warriors 2?
No. I've only played 3 and 4.
Okay, the story in 2 is that there's like I forget if it's like Dark Denden Mushis, but there's like some dark thing, and it turns like good characters evil. So I believe Blackbeard, under the influence of this dark thing, I think his main goal was to literally amass power in the New World by teaming up with like other pirates like Gecko Moria. And at the end, I believe you and your friends, your crew, teaming up with Smoker, by the way, I believe, if I remember right. I could be wrong. But you and all of your friends, you have to team up and you have to free Whitebeard from Blackbeard's control. And then you fight Blackbeard. And the music for Blackbeard's final stage is so good. And, like, seriously, guys, open up a new tab right now. Go ahead. Do it. All right. I'm waiting. Just open up a new tab. All right, excellent. Now you can pause this if you like, just take a listen, or you can wait till the end here. But in the search tab, I want you guys to type out One Piece Pirate Warriors 2, or you could just type in OPPW2, and then I believe the name of the song is Fruit of Darkness. And I know the beginning is going to sound just a little bit weird, but man, when you reach the main riff of that song, It is legendary. It's so good. It's on my running playlist for a reason. But yeah, Pirate Warriors 2, it had that feature. And it had like I think it would like Pirate Warriors 2 should have been Pirate Warriors 1 in the first place. I think that's how good it is. Pirate Warriors 3 has its main feature is the story mode that literally goes from fucking chapter 1 all the way to their made up Dressrosa ending. Which, by the way, isn't exactly made up. It's literally the whole fight with Doflamingo, but Sabo's in it. The end.
Yeah. Yep.
So
and it had the what is it? What was it called? The one where you can like go to the different islands and all that shit.
Oh,
it had that mode in it.
Dreamlog, Dream Valley.
I think Dreamlog.
Okay, yeah, that was cool too.
And it basically see this is why this is the stuff in Pirate Warriors 3 that I liked. It had the full story. It had the Dreamlog thing, which was like you could physically see yourself, going to these different islands and all that and beating everybody. And it also had that legend thing where you had to go back to like the missions, beat them at like a certain difficulty, get certain ranks on things, beat some people as certain characters. So like you had to go back, and that's what I'm doing on my Switch right now is completing the whole legend. Yeah, so like I'm getting like S ranks on everything, doing things in a certain time frame. Like I just finished the Skypiea stuff. Actually, no, correction. I just finished the Water 7 stuff. And I've got like a few hours in this game. Like more than a few hours. But yeah. If only Pirate Warriors 4 had that, it would be perfect.
Yeah, and that's kind of what leads up to Pirate Warriors 4, where the main tagline for Pirate Warriors 4 was that the combat would be revolutionary. Playing Pirate Warriors 3 after playing 4, oh man, does it show its age. Yep. Like, man, does it feel slow as fuck. But with Pirate Warriors 4, the combat is like the main reason why I go back there. You can do so many interesting things with your characters this time. You can air cancel. Canceling. Just having the ability to cancel out your attack string to just do another one, or at least a special move, or transform at least a new one of 4 special attacks.
I was just gonna say there's 4 special attacks, transformations, things that build up over time. More slots for like bonuses as you're fighting and shit. Like
it's why I don't mind the grind for to unlock all the character, or not unlock all the characters, but just unlocking all the characters' movesets and their special abilities. I don't mind that because I just have fun with the control. I don't know if you ever feel the same, but man, playing as Marco, he doesn't really do that much damage with special moves, but he is so much fun just flying around, kicking everyone in their stupid face. And unfortunately, the big critique with Pirate Warriors 4 is that the story mode is absolute dog shit. It is terrible. Yep. It is god awful. It's really bad. It's like, oh, Trevor's being subjective. This is where I'm bringing my A game for this one. I actually did write a script for why the whole story mode for Pirate Warriors 4 is absolutely terrible, while everything else is practically pretty good. In story mode, you get abridged chapters of levels that you have already done in Pirate Warriors 3, and the one I think the 2 big exceptions to this were in Sabaody, where you played as all the supernovas instead of the Straw Hats. That was a great change. I wish the whole story mode was like that.
Yeah.
It's like, man, not being forced to play as Luffy again. Yeah, that I'll sign me up for that one.
Yeah, sign me up for that.
And then you just and then after that you just do it's basically 4 out of the 6 chapters of Pirate Warriors 4 story mode. It's just repeats. all over again.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off. And then part 5 was Whole Cake Island. And they stretched that story to like 7 different levels when every other chapter beforehand, like 5 to 6 at most. At most 6, I believe. And the last battle in Whole Cake Island is like the easiest boss, one of the easiest bosses in video game history, where you literally just fight Katakuri, and it's so easy to kick his ass. It's laughable. And then you get and you get to the Wano storyline, and this is where I felt lied to, because the whole tagline of Pirate Warriors 4 is that there was going to be an original story for the Wano. And I thought, oh man, if it's like half as crazy as 2 was, I'm in for a treat. However, Pirate Warriors 4 was not like that at all. The Wano storyline was 6 chapters, I believe. I might be wrong, but it was, I believe it was shorter than Whole Cake Island at 6 chapters. Where the only real changes to the whole crazy fanfic storyline was that Katakuri showed up. He freed Luffy and Kid from prison. They teamed up to fight Jack. And then Luffy invented a new Gear 4 move to take down Kaido. Oh, but the last level did give us all the Straw Hats working together to take down Big Mom. That was great. That was a fantastic moment. I hope that moment does make a comeback in the actual storyline, because my God, I want that. Teamwork is the best way for fights in One Piece against the Yonko. I just want to cement that point in.
Yeah.
But
and I mean that last chapter in the Wano one is at least like really long. So
yeah, and
that kind of makes up for it.
Well, I mean, it's long, but it's like I wish everything else was just like they took more of the just go all out, just go crazy. You have the full roster at your disposal. Just throw in everyone for Wano's sake. Just
everyone is here.
Buggy's here. Cavendish and Barto, they show up because they get a distress call from Nami to show up and help Luffy out. I kind of wanted that stuff, not, oh, Katakuri's popular, he's here now. But yeah, that's good lord. That Pirate Warriors 4 is a fantastic game, just an absolute shit story. Where the fuck do we go from here? I forgot we were talking about before.
I remember interpretations.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I put in the chat earlier because I wanted to bring up something.
Yeah.
So tell me if you stop me if you heard this one. Don't stop me, but tell me if you recognize this story. I want to get into One Piece, but I feel like it's too long. I don't really know if it's a safe bet watching it. Or, hey, I'm reading One Piece. I read it for a while, 100 chapters, or I watched 100 episodes. I kind of stopped there. It's good. It's just not my thing. You fucking heathen. You piece of shit. You don't know what you're missing. It's like the best scene ever. You need to go back immediately. Tell me if that sounds familiar at all.
That does. That's why I'm glad they made that that episode of East Blue special, because that is just like almost 2 hours of basically everything that happens in the East Blue besides Logtown. And if you watch that, that's only 2 hours of your life, and it'll be it's a good gauge to whether or not you will like One Piece or not. I did that with my own fiance. I was like, hey, I'm getting you into anime. You want to try One Piece? I don't know. How long is it? And I told her how long it was. She's like, I don't know. And I was like, well, let's watch this special. Let's see how it goes. And she liked it. So I was like, all right, great. We'll start it then. And that's usually a good thing. But and that's the thing. One Piece really isn't for everybody unless you actually like it.
No story is for everyone. I want to make that clear to everyone. No story is for everyone.
Yeah.
And
And I think part of that goes into the whole emotional aspect of things, because one of my favorite things with One Piece is watching somebody going into it blind, like watching them go through everything. So seeing their reactions to things like Nami and Arlong Park, to Alabasta, to Skypiea, and be like, oh, Skypiea shit, until they continue going and realize, oh, Skypiea is actually a really great arc. Because everyone goes through that phase. Well, almost everyone. And then Water 7 and East Lobby happens, and that's when you realize, oh shit, things are hitting the fan. This is a totally different thing than I thought I was getting into. And it just kind of keeps building and building. So like that's one thing I really like seeing, is people going into it blind like that. So I understand like that emotional aspect of it, where you want people to be into it, because it is a great story. It is awesome, but you got to remember that not everyone's going to feel that way.
Yeah, and not everyone is going to have like that same emotional attachment. Because, for instance, Watkins, you and I can easily say that we love One Piece. However, that love, just because we use the word love, that doesn't mean we have the same love for it. It's on different levels with different various factors. So, and if someone doesn't get into the story, that is perfectly fine. It is okay. But I can't begin to tell you how many times I've seen people be like, "No, you have to continue it. You're doing a great crime if you stop here." And it's like, I watched 100 episodes. You guys told me that it would get really good and I'd be invested by episode 100. That's asking a lot of me. It's like, yeah, it is. It is asking a lot of you. Hell, watching 40 episodes, watching 52 episodes of something can be a lot for people.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of normal people, well, normal people, let me rephrase that. For a lot of people before getting into like, if One Piece is like one of their first animes, or if it's something that's like if they're used to, different shows being like 52 episodes, like 1, 2, 3 seasons, asking for like, oh, just watch 100 episodes and then see if it's, worthy of your attention. That's asking for a lot. So let people go at their own pace. If they don't like it, that's fucking fine. My best friend, who lives 20 feet away from me in the other room, he read the story. He can't get into it. And I asked him, I was like, why is that? And he just went, it's just not my thing. I don't want to get into it because, hey, for what I got, even though it was good, I just cannot invest myself for 1,000 episodes. That's fine. You got your thing to deal with. One Piece should not guide your life. And I'm just going to let that last one sink in because I know how many people do.
Yeah, because a lot of people have that's just a whole other topic too, about how people their identity is a series. It's like, no, your identity is more than just that. You're more than just something that you watch or read or anything. Your existence is more than just a drawing on a paper, unless you're like actually drawing it. That's kind of a different thing, but if you're a consumer of this stuff, you are more than all of that.
Yeah. It's just again, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. Like, it is just a story at the end of the day. It's gonna have a lot of impact, but it's okay to just like take a step back and just let others do their own thing. Don't try to force people. I know. I'm guessing that the people that are going to be watching this, if they make it to this point in the video, because we've been going on for more than an hour, but I don't care. This is a Trevor Tiger video after all. We take our time here.
Just put some timestamps in. It'll be fine.
Never. I don't know where to begin with timestamps, but it's just one of those things. Like, just take a step back. It's all right. To make a little joke out of it, the last time I saw someone controlled by a story, it was a fucking extreme Christian because they loved the Bible that much. And we all know what I know, that all the people that take the Bible super seriously, only the best things happen to them. I'm a Christian. I can say that joke. Fuck all of you.
Yep. Same here. Yep.
But yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Just your story is not perfect. That's okay. But
yes.
but Trevor and Walken's One Piece is. To that we say, no, it's not. No. If last week taught you anything, it's that One Piece is not perfect and it's not perfect for everyone. I would dare say that it's not perfect in a lot of different areas. Like, for instance, dead characters. They don't really stay dead.
Yeah. Unless you're in a flashback.
Yeah. Unless you're part of Gold D. Rogers' bloodline, you are not coming back. Or you have a guarantee coming back, so unless you're not part of Rogers' bloodline.
So I have a question.
Yes.
That might actually.
You're not allowed to talk anymore. No, silence, whelp. But go on.
So it's actually something I thought about as we were going through this recording. So when do you think a story should be looked at objectively? As it's going or when it's finished?
Honestly, I would I don't know if this is just taking the cheap shot, but I would say that both sides are, in the right, because to give an example, and I love going to this because, my God, it's just the perfect way to sum this up. Let's go with Game of Thrones Season 8 here.
Here we go, everybody. Game of Thrones Season 8. Let's go.
So, Game of Thrones, seasons 1 through 4 are like legendary. They are so good. They are fantastic pieces of television. Seasons 5 through 7, again, like One Piece, it's like a heartbeat monitor. It rises and it spikes down a lot. It's the quality is a little inconsistent, but it's not anything terrible. And I guess I should have made that clear from the get-go. Just because One Piece has like that heartbeat monitor, it's not as consistently strong as its pre-time skip. Doesn't mean it's not terrible. There's a lot of good things in the post-time skip. Just want to make that clear. But anyway, here comes Season 8, the final season. As that season was going along, that was horrific. The character assassinations, the utter destruction of the world that everyone knew. Like, oh my, Walkins, what if I told you that in One Piece, by the time you reach the final arc, all the vast locations that you've known to love, no, none of them exist. For the final 2 locations, it's Fishman Island and Syrup Village. Those are the 2 only locations you get in Season 8 or the Season 300 of One Piece. What if I told you that was the case?
I mean, yay, Syrup Village.
What if I also told you that Usopp in the 5th episode of Season 300, he goes, to be honest, I never really cared for Kai or the kids. I kind of don't even want to be a warrior. I just said shit because, you guys will buy anything.
I mean, he is God, so...
All right. How about that? Okay. How about this?
I'm just
bad example.
Yeah.
I know, but how about this? How about this one? Because my God, Sanji and Jaime Lannister.
Oh, there we go.
What if I told you that in one episode, Sanji says, to be honest, it was all an act. I actually just secretly want to just kick women in their face. I fucking hate them. They're all cunts. Never really cared for them in the first place. Imagine the sheer shock everyone would have at that moment. The sheer singularity, the black holes that would open up from the disappointed energy of all the fans all over the world at that one moment in time. Imagine that. That was what happened in just one episode of Game of Thrones. So there's that. Like, I know it's the penultimate episode before the end, but it's still an ongoing show. Yeah, I agree with the notion that you can objectively look at something that as it's going along, because you can disagree with something. Like in Naruto at the end, when Madara became the main villain and he just stood next to Obito, it's like, I'm the one, I'm in control again, it's all mine. It's like, wait, what? What's going on here? What's going on? Hold the phone here. Now let me beat up all the tail beasts. Stop. What's going on? We need to calm the fuck down. Oh, it's Zets. What are you doing? Stop.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That's what I mean by the ongoing stuff. And who knows? With 1011, we may be going on a downhill because unfortunately, Big Mom's one of the strongest themes in the entire world right now. You can't just write her off so easily, especially with the comment like what happened with the whole mother mode shit. We don't know what's gonna happen. It could be downhill from here. I hope to God not. I don't want my number 9 favorite series to go down in flames, like number 10, like what Bleach did. But that leads perfectly into, if you need to look at a story objectively, if you're going to wait for it to end, that might be a good place because, hey, Bleach is really strong. Like, if it wasn't for the shitty ass ending, like with all the plot holes and all the questions that still remained unanswered, hey, it might be higher up on the list. But, oh boy, that ending was something else.
Yeah. And I'm kind of getting into the mindset now, like slowly but surely. I'm getting into the mindset of I'm probably gonna be more objective when it ends, because I mean that's how I was with Naruto and Bleach. Like I followed it weekly, and I was just like, all right, I'm having fun, especially with Naruto near the end with the whole Kaguya bullshit. I was just like, okay, maybe this is going to lead somewhere where it's actually decent. And the Kaguya stuff ended. I'm just like, well, okay. And then Kishimoto was just like, oh, wait, yeah, we need to have Naruto versus Sasuke again. And I'm like, oh, okay, greatness. Here we go. Yeah, okay, this is great. But that Kaguya stuff, like, drug it down. So, I don't know. For me, I can be more objective when something's finished, because then you're supposed to have all the answers by then with a completed story. Keyword supposed to.
Yeah, and I agree with that stance. I think both mindsets would work equally, because again, there could be any moment that makes everything go like, wait, what's going on here? I and another thing that you could probably do with in the best way possible, Death Note. You could easily like judge it week by week or episode by episode, because with it being a detective series and all, you can easily look back and like, okay, here's what worked, did not work, how let's dive into that, and then you're like, oh, okay, so that's what happened. All right, yeah, it does make sense. Yeah, so I think the same mindset could be applied.
Yeah, and that's what sucks about being like a weekly content creator, like us. So like with your live reactions and mine with my reviews, it's that's where the challenge lies with that, because you're following a story weekly. You might forget some bits of information here and there. And also on that note, it's fine if you forget something. That's okay too. Especially with One Piece, it's a long story. It's a big story. You might forget something. But yeah, it's that, and that's where the challenge comes with like weekly content, because you're trying to follow the story weekly, you're trying to piece everything together, and you're trying to be as objective as possible, but that again is the trap of all of it, because some people might interpret something different, and this kind of ties everything together. Just be careful how you talk about something on a weekly basis, I guess, because a lot of stuff is still speculative in certain areas. So I'll actually bring up the Big Mom stuff again, because a lot of people are saying that this actually kind of gives more reasoning for the amnesia stuff. Or like, because a lot of people did not like the amnesia stuff, myself included. but those same people are saying, "Oh, so this is why it was set up like this with the amnesia. So then, when this moment happened, it was here." And they're like, "Okay, I feel a lot better about that happening." Things like that, for example.
Yeah. Well, fuck. There's
Yeah. There's that mic drop for you.
Yes. Man, I do want to mention real quick. I don't think it has much relevance in this discussion, but man, could you tell like there were more there like I don't want to say confessions, but like some of the content creators that we know, they were feeling burnout from covering One Piece weekly, and I think like
Oh.
1011 was like such a blow that like
Mhm.
god damn, this just needs to end because we can't just keep grinding on the same rail
Yeah.
forever.
I know. I mean, I'll name drop Sin right now. I mean, he's kind of feeling a burnout too, but that's because like he's still like a freshly new content creator from just a year ago. He started
Yeah,
his
like his
channel.
imagination's bursting everywhere. And my
Yeah,
god, he is a fucking pro. I love that man. If he
but
actually
I
listens
was
to this, I
talking.
hope he takes that in every way.
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, but I was talking to him the other day, and he's starting to have Wano burnout. So I there's a thing, especially with One Piece, called arc fatigue, and this didn't really become a thing. At least I didn't notice it becoming a thing until Dressrosa. So actually, I was talking to Ulti about this the other day, and because I asked him, I was just like, "When did you start becoming weekly with One Piece?" And he said it was like in the middle of Dressrosa. I was like, "All right, so you only experienced half of that," because that this is also kind of ties into me with Wano. Like, there's a lot of stuff that happened in Dressrosa where I question, wait, why is this happening? Why is this a thing? Where are we going with this? I'm so confused. When is Dressrosa ending? We're supposed to be going to this place called Wano soon. We need to get to Zoe. We need to find out what's going on with Sanji and that group that left. Like, what? There's all this stuff that we need to get to. Why are we still here? And there's similar feelings with this with Wano right now. And I think that was part of it with 1011 is just that we've reached this point now where it's just like, all right, you're still setting stuff up in this war arc.
Can we
Let
end it now?
can we start having some payoffs now? You know, and I'm assuming we're gonna get some. I mean, when's the last time we saw Jinbei? That was more than just a panel.
I mean, he was fighting the greatest fine sixth member of our generation. I'm not
Yeah.
biased with tigers or anything. just saying, Pei's really good. Not Pei. God damn it! Who's really good?
Pei.
God,
Yeah.
so fucking that dead animal.
That dead animal. Oh, but yeah, like on the week to week basis, arc fatigue is a thing with One Piece.
Yeah,
It's just best
And,
to acknowledge it and just try to move
you
forward.
guys-
Yeah.
yeah. Like I kept thinking of like just doing fan fiction, like what if scenarios, trying to liven
Yeah.
things up a little. Not trying to be like Masako X or anything, but just like I know I told you this before. I was like, huh, what if I just made a stupid video of like, what if the Arankars were in Bleach and Aizen was an admiral that created the Arankars? And in One Piece logic, oh, all the Espadas, they're made from devil fruits. They're humanoid devil fruits. And Stark, fucking Oda, that hack. Just kidding, I love him. But my idea for like I had this idea for a couple years now, and my idea was like, oh man, what if Stark, when he goes like his resurrection form, what if his gun just fires like conquers hockey blast so that there's no opponent he can't face off equally in battle? And then it turns out you could just use that in the first place with Kaido, just like there goes that idea. So now when I make the video, there's gonna be
You're
like,
gonna be the hack.
Yeah, you stole that from Oda. It's like, no, I promise. I came up with the gun. I came up with the hockey gun first.
It was my thing first, not Ben Beckman's.
But there's I'm gonna try to liven things up a little. That's why on my channel, you guys I'm trying to keep the One Piece chapter content to just live reactions.
Mhm.
I want to focus on the Stampede review. I want to focus on the Super Broly review. I want to make my fucking Disney theme park reviews because, my God, I love the Disney theme parks. I don't really like the Disney company, but I love the theme parks because the effort that goes into them is fucking to all words, all pun to attended here.
Yeah.
I find the parks magical. I love them, but. And I want to show that love. I'm just trying to branch out, and I'll probably do gaming content. Man, when my PC comes in 2 days, oh man, I'm gonna be busy on that one. I'm just gonna say, it's be fucking great. But I do have to confess something here. With the arc fatigue, I don't know if you felt this, but I felt anime fatigue for a long time with the One Piece anime. Ever since the was it Fishman Island?
Probably because that's where a lot of people were kind of not feeling the anime. Mainly somebody that I live with when we got to the Fishman Island arc. That's kind of why it took us forever to get through it.
Oh wait, no, I think I remember. Oh yeah, it started with Marineford actually.
Really?
Marineford was. I have reread Marineford so many times, and I know the One Piece anime is notorious for stretching things out, but I've noticed that stretch with Marineford in a few cases. I'm trying to remember specific things, but it has been a while. Again, that's why it took me a second to remember. But it's I just remember things being stretched out in Marineford. It's like, okay, we need to get along. I remember that I had to skip an episode or two just to get to the next story beat. I specifically remember that. This was during my college years. After that, I just felt fatigued because that's when the One Piece anime was just starting to get known for not being good. Oh my God, the One Piece anime is the perfect representation of the post-time skip for my feelings in general about it. It's not as good as part one. It still has plenty of strong moments, but man, you could tell that the quality is a little inconsistent.
Oh yeah, it's very inconsistent. And again, that's why rewatching post time skip has kind of been a chore over here. Because the one person I watch with, I could tell, and she even told me about how she wasn't feeling the Fishman Island arc because there was something about it that didn't feel like One Piece again. And part of that is because of the pacing of the anime.
Yeah. Man, it's just, oh man, oh, the reverie. Oh, that adaptation. Oh man, that angered me so much.
That bullshit.
And do you like that? I know the Wano anime is now the go-to standard for oh man, this is what the One Piece anime should have always been. There are some people that are like, no, what are you talking about? The One Piece anime has always been perfect. It's the best thing ever. I'm like, calm the fuck down.
Well, see, here's the thing with Wano. The one thing with the Wano anime is the slower pace of the anime has been very beneficial to a lot of the quote unquote fast pace that Oda has taken Wano in certain parts.
Wano is this very structured story, but I like the stretched out stuff, everything that the One Piece anime is infamous for in the past parts. In Wano, it's we're taking a different approach with it in general. It's oh man, that's what we wanted in the first place. But man, there are people that just say, yeah, no, the One Piece anime was always perfect. It was always the GOAT, as we stab another one through the heart.
Yeah, it's the best example I can think of. The 2 chapters that we saw, the one episode we saw with Roger's journey, it was the one with the whole episode had Bink Sake in it. So the actual like journey episode, that was technically only adapting half a chapter. Yet you go back to Dressrosa when they adapted only half a chapter. And look back at the quality between the two and see which one's different. Because with the extended stuff they did in Wano, and it actually fleshes out the story a little bit. It actually makes everything breathe a lot better. It makes it feel like you're watching some epic. Whereas the Dressrosa was just like, let's extend this part for reasons. Yeah.
That's why I got so pissed with the Reverie adaptation. It was, holy fuck, that was abysmal.
It's like, here, let's adapt a couple panels, and the rest of it is just flashback.
Good
remember
Lord.
Alabasta? Remember Drum Island?
It is literally the Remember Boba Fett shit in The Mandalorian. It is literally the same effects. I may just pull up that.
Alabasta.
I may just like throw in the make us watch the whole Rogue One opening again by Red Letter Media, and I do have a video for us that we can end things out on. But I'll wait to show those when we're done. But are we getting to that point? Because I don't know.
I think we kind of are because. Yeah, I think we kind of are because a lot of other stuff is just kind of like reinforcing what we already said, which we can pretty much do at an end of a video.
Yeah.
So
let me see if I can pull it up here. Pull it up. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
The perfect voice for that. Face for that. ATST.
Oh my god. Don't worry, guys, you're about to get context.
Lightsabers.
Hold on. Oh wait, I think I got it. Yep.
Darth Vader.
All right, here we go. Yeah. So for context, everyone, there's a really good channel called Red Letter Media, and they were reviewing Rogue One. And their intro for Rogue One was quite literally how it was trying to tell the point that Rogue One really tries to bait you in with all its references to the original trilogy. And yeah, that's all we get. And in some cases, oh my god, everything goes back to fucking Stampede, because Stampede does quite a bit of that. It tries to do a lot of fan service. Some areas it works, a lot of areas it doesn't. But yeah. Are you ready? Because this is basically the Reverie this is the Reverie adaptation in a nutshell.
No.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and play.
Which one is us? Oh, like, all right, the guy on the left, is that you or me? Are you Mike or am I Mike?
I might have a better understanding after we watch it again.
Man, 8.5 thousand dislikes.
Whatever.
Hi, I'm Rich Minersky. I'm the Milwaukee City Building Inspector. I'm here to make sure that your licenses are valid and that this building is up to...
Fuck it. Let's just talk about Rogue One.
That's me.
X-Wings!
Death Star!
Grand Moff Tarkin!
TIE Fighters!
TIE
Fighters back!
Princess Leia!
Admiral Akbar! No, that was somebody else. It was a different Mon Calamari.
Oh, I thought they cast the same actor and he just gained a bunch of weight between the last film and this one.
No.
Funny enough, if we're doing this to compare to the Reverie arc, acting like, do you remember Boba Fett? Then this conversation is literally, oh, Kizaru. No, his voice actor changed. Oh, okay.
Oh. You know Green Bull? You're not gonna see him yet.
Do you remember Akainu?
Remember
Or as the dub likes to call
Fujitoro?
him. Yeah, or as the dub likes to call Akainu, Akainu.
ATST.
Oh, that's coming.
Oh no, Apple
I
Aqua's not a
love
real
it.
person.
Alderaan! Ad Walkers! We go back to Yavin 4. Remember the rebel base?
I clapped when I saw it.
I clapped when I saw Darth Vader.
ATSTs! ATSTs!
Lucasfilm logo. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but no title crawl. Oh well!
I
Remember
applauded it for being
Charlos?
different.
It broke new ground!
That's my favorite one.
Honestly, the amount of modern movies that could have this logic apply to them, like just the new Star Wars movies. Again, I keep referencing it, but it's only because I've watched and analyzed it to death. But Stampede, what's another one? What's another one that relies so much on like fan service and nostalgia? What's another
Hobbit.
one? Yeah, The Hobbit. That works too.
Like, why did it have to be 3 movies?
I don't know.
Because the
You
third
know-
movie's gotta be epic.
I guess in a way, Age of Calamity could work. Probably not. Nah, probably not. Not the best one.
Star
Kingdom
Destroyers.
Yeah.
Wait, go back. Go back. I'm sorry. I love that
Yeah?
one. I love that one.
Oh yeah.
It broke new ground!
TIE fighters as well as X-Wing.
You'll be dead guy. And Punda Boo Boo. Panda Babu.
You mean butt
Butt
face?
face.
Lightsaber.
Jimmy Smits.
Basil Oregano, played by Jimmy Smits. He's Princess Leia's non-biological father. He got blown up on Alderaan.
Alderaan.
That's the planet that gets blown up.
ATSTs!
C-3PO and R2-D2 showed up, and I clapped.
I clapped when I
I
saw them
clapped.
go.
I clapped because I know Star Wars.
I know what that is. This is Cold Leader. We're starting for the target shaft now.
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Lightsaber.
Blue milk.
Lightsaber.
Paper.
Star Destroyers! I'm gonna come!
Did you clap at any of the new moments and memorable characters?
Were there
No.
any?
No.
I clapped when Darth Vader turned on his red lightsaber.
Holy shit, there was a red lightsaber and he used the Force.
Oh my God!
It broke
Yeah.
new ground. Oh.
Oh man, but yeah, I do have one final treat. Now, the last time we did this, we watched that terrible Pirate Warriors 4 review.
Oh yeah, no NL.
But This
7
one's
out
going to
of
be something that critiques the anime a little bit,
Oh,
just a little, but it's not bad per se. It's more of a parody skit,
Oh,
and it's one that I thoroughly enjoyed. This was that gem that I mentioned to you in our DM like yesterday. So hold on, let me try to pull it back up here. Found it. So yeah, this is what the fuck is this? Get off your private video. Why would you do that in my
people
live
who
videos?
think One Piece is the best anime. Oh no.
Also, I know that there was a Stone Ocean spoiler, so I'm just gonna scroll down a little here.
Oh, well
There we
then.
go. Yeah, there's no spoilers here.
As long
All
as they know that Jailhouse Rock is an awesome stand.
Nice.
I won't say what the power is, but I've read I love the power. I
I
saw
do
what
not
its
blame you.
power was, and I was like, okay, this is JoJo.
Yeah, it's the pure imagination.
Yes.
I'm being very careful with my words, but like, my God, I just love Araki so goddamn much. Like, he is the battle author that should always be turned to. His imagination is top notch. It is top tier
He broke new ground.
on a constant basis.
Star Destroyer.
Dio! Dio makes me come.
Remember Dio? Remember Jonathan Joestar?
I imagine that this guy on screen right now looking towards us is what some people have like. It's the face that some people have had towards us during this entire video.
They have clicked off already.
Ah, that's a shame. They don't get to see the Rogue One opening. But yeah, this will be the final treat before we get to not closing arguments, just like closing statements. So I hope you enjoy. This is people who think One Piece is the best anime, and man, it kind of rings true. It made me laugh really hard.
Man, One Piece is such a good anime, man.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Just like the world building in this show, it's just amazing.
Yeah, some pretty good world building, you know.
Don't even get me started on the drama. I mean, like this show is a tearjerker. Cry like every single arc. I just really like crying. Anyone who thinks this show isn't the greatest anime ever they're just wrong.
I mean, the show's really good, but like, I wouldn't really say it's the best. I mean, doesn't the
with the music? Yes.
I'm gonna mute it here.
One Piece is literally perfect.
It's really good, but I mean, it's not perfect.
Uh-oh.
I have to kill you.
You gotta kill me. For what?
You have to die for slandering One Piece.
Do you see why I called this a national treasure now?
Yes.
I am gonna mute it here because it's just nothing but music.
Gotcha. It's the One Piece. You guys heard it. Fucking
yeah.
listen to it. On
It's literally just the music between Aokiji and Doflamingo. Aokiji and Doflamingo standoff. It's that music.
I'm preparing to punch you right now. It's just gonna take me some time to get ready to hit you. But I'm going to hit you.
So we gonna fight because I don't think One Piece is the greatest anime. Because I brought up some pacing.
Oh my god, I can't.
This is so... And again, people wonder why, like, the show is fucking memed with its... Yes, see? One Piece episodes literally moved this slow at one point.
Oh, man, okay. Meme.
Yeah, demonetized.
Oh my god. Oh god. This is painful.
Yeah, but it's in the best way.
Oh.
All right, I'm done. I'm not gonna entertain this any longer. I don't know what you're trying to do, but I'm not about this.
Oh god.
The commercial break.
I can't. I can't.
It's just going.
Oh my god, I love it.
No. Pete! He must have left during the commercial break. Fair enough. Fair enough. But at least we don't got filler.
You absolutely have
There
filler.
there is filler.
Yeah, you absolutely have it. It's called a lot of One Piece nowadays. It's for like the last decade, One Piece specialized in having filler in its canon episodes. I'm just saying.
That's a topic for another day.
This one got filler. One Piece is still the greatest.
Hey, look, Twitter.
Oh my god. Oh,
I had to show you that. That was like,
I like
that was
that.
gonna be the treat.
I like that. That was fun.
But was there anything else we need to talk? Oh yeah, to link it back, it's like people wonder why like the show's pacing is fucking memed to obliteration. It's not that good.
It's just, I guess it's fine to be critical, and I mean that it's.
There we go.
I know. It's because there's a fine line too of being like overly critical. You know, like there are people like that.
There's a Nazi.
Yeah, there are people like that who believe he is a Nazi,
or that heaven forbid, this person may think that Oda is sexist.
Oh my god, fucking misogynist and bullshit.
I am not letting that Twitter thread go, by the way. It's going to stay fresh in my head.
As you should not. But you gotta find the fine line between critiquing and love and praising. Because I struggle even talking about like finding words for it, because a lot of people, and this is me getting like deep. Let's we're about 2 hours into this. Let's finally get a little deep in this.
Oh, finally. Okay. Let's get a
little deep in this.
I thought we were already burying our graves. Like we're pretty deep in our graves already. But by just having this video posted,
we kind of dug our feet into the sand a little bit. But now let's start, actually using a shovel and digging. So, people, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I'm gonna put a good like ASMR radio voice onto this. Just so you know, life is not black and white. Racist. Things can be gray. There can be this gray area, and people are afraid of this gray area. That's why some people don't like My Hero Academia, because Horikoshi writes the gray area, and oh no, you don't want the gray area to exist, because something has to be either good or bad. It can't just be all right.
But Roger Space says it has no consequences, so he must be right.
No, he's not right, but that's another topic. You got to find that fine line between praise and critique, because if you overly praise, you're not. What am I trying to? If you overpraise something, you start putting it on this pedestal that, at the point that it starts to dwindle and eventually fall, and when it's gone forever, like when it ends, what are you left with? What do you have beyond that? Nothing. And the opposite can also be said. If you overanalyze, if you overcritique something, you're not really enjoying anything at all. And that's what entertainment is. That's what things like manga and comics are mainly there for. They're there to entertain. And if it entertains you, great, awesome. And if it doesn't entertain you, great, awesome. Just be careful of how you critique and praise, because that will determine basically how you take anything in your life.
Yep.
Take that little grain of rice with you and either eat it or choke on it. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. Yeah. Also, just be overly critical of One Piece Stampede. That's my.
Oh my god.
As soon as you said, "Don't over critique or overanalyze," it's like, I'm gonna make a Stampede joke. He can't stop.
I would be sad if you didn't.
But
yeah, that's the thing. Like, just be careful. That there can be a good balance. And if Full Metal Alchemist taught us anything, is the law of equivalent exchange.
Just you don't. One thing for you is another thing to another. Don't try to force anything. Don't don't be meanie poo poos about it. Don't
like
don't
what you like.
Anything.
Like what you like. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, just do your best. If you're gonna review something, just make sure you review some things. If you need to ask for help, just go for it. Just ask like, "Hey, Flying Panda. Hey, Watkins. What help me reassure something." Because that's what I've done that with you a few times. Like, just answer this for me. Does this make sense? Did Blackbeard really pull it out of Impel Down? No.
I mean, from a certain point of view.
He never let him out. Yet the wiki says he did. How?
Because, the wiki is the ultimate source of knowledge because anyone can edit it at any time. So you're always getting the most up-to-date information.
Good. Odin hates women. There we go. Yeah. All right, but that's the I can't fucking speak. That's the video. That's the discussion.
Yes.
Yeah, Watkins, you've been a great partner. I'll see you in the bed in 20 minutes. Just
of course. Just don't forget the pineapple.
Bitch, I'm bringing in the Odin.
Yay!
We can hate women together. With
our misogyny.
Take that, Miranda. Yeah, links to Watkins' channel will be at the end screen here, and there will be a Twitter link to him and myself down below. You can follow us if you want some daily stuff. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So
like the video, subscribe to Trev Tiger for all your memes and One Piece live reactions, and hopefully soon other things. And also go to the Doommates channel because they are fun.
Oh.
Playing Resident Evil 4.
Funny story about that. We're trying to... Apparently, we had to switch to the PS3 for Resident Evil 4. Oh. And apparently, the Elgato does not capture PS3 footage, so we need to get another cable, and we're working that out. So it's coming.
Oh, fun.
New episodes will come eventually.
Just do Sonic Adventure for the meantime. Or do Sonic Heroes.
I would gladly do Sonic Heroes so that I can show Aaron how to play the game.
I love it. I love when he plays Sonic because, first of all, their commentary over Sonic is always the best. And also, just him being like, because I feel like that's one of his games where his brain just kind of shuts off and he just starts talking about anything.
Yeah.
And then he realizes, oh shit, I'm playing a video game. What the fuck am I doing?
You know what? I might just include timestamps, be like, before this, the end, and then here, no, just kidding, it's Sonic, and now it's gonna be the end.
Sonic Heroes.